Welcome to India Today Global. I'm sitting here with the Deputy Secretary General of Taiwan's National Security Council. Thank you so much for joining us here, sir. Could you tell us a little bit about the current state of the India-Taiwan relationship? You're here, of course, as a senior member of the National Security Establishment of Taiwan, here to talk about advancing the India-Taiwan relationship on security. What are the two countries doing together on security right now, and what would you like to do more closely in the future?
The fact that I participated in the Resina dialogue frequently, this is my first time, itself testified to the solid relationship we have. Opportunities like this are good for advancing our mutual strategic understanding. And so I cherish this kind of opportunity. And of course, on the side of Resina dialogue, our representative office here also arrange a series of side meetings for me. These are also very useful.
Right. Is there anything in particular? Of course, we know that the shared strategic challenge of China has been a great strategic glue between India and Taiwan. That's part of how Taiwan has entered the discourse in India much more frequently over the last couple of years. Could you tell us a little bit about how the shared challenge of China has brought India and Taiwan closer together when it comes to security concerns?
It's always a topic that we discuss. Either I come over here or some of the Indian friends visit the Taipei or in other occasions internationally. China is not only a common challenge for our two countries, but also for many other partners in the region. So I think we are facing the threat from China almost every day. Both militarily and also through gray zone and other kinds of gray zone harassment, cognitive warfare, things like that. So honestly speaking, we have accumulated a lot of experiences. So for the like-minded countries and partners like India, we are willing to share.
Could you tell us a little bit exactly? You said that you would like to, of course, share your expertise with India. We know that, of course, there are a number of Indian diplomats these days are being trained in Taiwan. There are, of course, many more exchanges. Taiwan also hosted 3 retired service chiefs from the Indian military. Could you tell us a little bit about what you mean when you say that you would like to do more with India and share more with India? Are there any specific proposals that you would like to bring up with the Indian side in terms of more cooperation on security and diplomatic issues?
This is something not only with India, but with many other regional partners. We have been experiencing all sorts of maritime gray zone harassment from China, including the fact that they are cutting our submarine cable. Recently, they cut the international submarine cable. And so far as we understand, the Chinese vessels or vessels run by Chinese nationals are also doing the same thing in other parts of the world, such as Baltic Sea. So this is an international issue. And we do think there should be a stronger international regime or institutions regulating behaviors, irresponsible behaviors like this. There should be consequences for them. So regarding this issue, but not only limited to the submarine cable, but all the maritime gray zone harassment, it's a good topic for partners like us to go further.
Could you tell us a little bit about the current state of the relationship between Taiwan and China? Do you believe that there is a significant threat of a conflict breaking out? There was, of course, the famous deadline of 2027 being floated around at one point in time by U.S. admirals saying that by this date, the Chinese will want to take Taiwan by force. So can you tell us a little bit about the current state of the relationship? And do you seriously see the possibility of conflict breaking out over the Taiwan Straits?
The current situation is very simple. They're threatening us every day. That's the current situation. And we don't doubt that they are making serious preparation for a possible invasion. And we're also working very hard in beefing up our own defense. As for the specific date, I don't have a crystal ball. So forgive me, I won't be able to come up with a definite date. But we have to assume the worst. It could come 2027. It could come tomorrow. So we shouldn't assume away by time frame when they will or will not do something. we should work our best to prepare ourselves, not only militarily, but also the whole society.
Could you tell us a little bit about the idea of a Taiwan contingency and a military conflict over Taiwan has also gained some resonance here in India. There are several people who are, of course, concerned about what it would mean for India's interests. Have you raised that concern with Indian colleagues as well, asking them to look more carefully at this issue as well?
It's always part of my argument that not only India's, but as I said, regional partners and partners from other regions should pay attention to the possible contingency over Taiwan Straits. Because should there be any contingency like that, it will create tremendous, unimaginable economic impact on global economy, which will affect everyone, including India. So I urge every country to have your own calculation. Should such a scenario takes place, what's the impact for your GDP growth rate? And it's hard for anyone to bear. Plus, the whole world has already been suffering from the previous war. It is so painful to finish the war. So we should do everything to deter the next war from happening. It has to do with the welfare of everyone.
The Donald Trump administration has, of course, come into office as well. And at this point in time, it isn't exactly clear what their China policy will be. Lots of countries in Asia have been concerned about the level of commitment that the Donald Trump administration will show towards countries in Asia. Are you concerned about that yourself?
Everyone is concerned, and everyone should be concerned, of course. We're taking our relationship with U.S. very seriously. We understand President Trump has his own concern on many bilateral relationships, especially on the trade deficit for U.S., and we understand that. But sometimes trade deficit is not simply bilateral matter. It's a result of the global division of labor in the global supply chain. Actually, the more export from Taiwan to U.S., the better for U.S. future economic development, especially the advanced chips that we manufacture, because these are purchased by the U.S. companies for developing their AI programs. And the more they purchase from Taiwan, the better development their AI programs shall be. And then will contribute to make America great again. So a bilateral trade deficit may not be necessarily bad, but we understand his concern over the trade deficit issue, and we're willing to talk to them.
Could I ask you one final question? You mentioned semiconductors, and I'm sure that whenever you come here, your Indian counterparts mention that semiconductors is something that they want to work more closely with Taiwan on. You, of course, look at national security. Economic security has also come up a great deal. India is, of course, concerned that its lack of semiconductor manufacturing capacity here in India is a national security concern for us. Can you tell us a little bit about what the state of the conversation is, perhaps working more closely on semiconductors and critical technologies for the India-Taiwan relationship?
Yes, I understand India harbors a dream of establishing some semiconductor manufacturing capability. It's a good dream, but not easy dream to achieve. I think, yes, Taiwan can be of help, but there are also some challenges on our bilateral economic relationship. So far, there's no. We're looking for the possibility of having some trade deal with India to reduce the obstacles for Taiwanese investors to come over here. Other than that, I have to say, semiconductor manufacturers, they go global to invest, mainly driven by the market needs. They go wherever there's a market demand. Like TSMC has already go invest in Kumamoto in Japan, Dresden in Germany, and expanding their investment in Arizona, U.S. It's not because our government told them to. They go there because there are markets, there are demands there. So if India is able to create more demands from its ICT sectors, not only semiconductor from Taiwan, semiconductor from everywhere in the world will come to India. I understand you have a huge trade deficit with China, and most things you import from China are ICT products. I think India has a demographic dividend. You have great talents, very young population. I think you have great potential in turning India into another global manufacturing hub. And I understand Prime Minister Modi has made India program. I think that's right direction. And we look forward to helping India realize that dream.
My final question to you, sir. In the coming years, is there any particular type of cooperation that you would like to push with India, perhaps through forums like the Quad? India is trying to play more of a role in the Indo-Pacific. Are there any specific areas that you would like to look at more closely again in the future?
I understand in Quad there's some program strengthening the supply chain resilience and economic security. I think for the whole region, as I said, Taiwan is an indispensable partner. So I would consider it wise to not only include but also consult Taiwan on this issue. We're more than happy to working with the Quad partners on this issue.
Mr. Deputy Secretary General, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.